All parties on Nicholson versus Shannon. Step forward, please.
31-year-old machinist Robert Nicholson claims former live-in lover, 27-year-old Michelle Shannon, owes him for rent after they split.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 698 on the calendar in the matter of Nicholson versus Shannon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You're in love, you move in together, you rent an apartment together, right?
Correct.
When did you meet?
About 6 months prior.
So you knew each other 6 months when you decided to sign a lease together.
Correct.
And how long did it last?
Approximately 14 months that we lived together.
And your lease was 2 years.
Correct.
And you left.
Right.
And you want her to pay her half of the rent for the remainder of the lease.
Correct.
She says she was more than fair. You moved out in December, is that right?
Yes.
December what?
It was early December. I don't know the exact date.
Had you paid the rent for December?
Yes, I had.
Is that right?
Correct.
And you had a security deposit on the apartment?
Yes.
How much was the security deposit that you put in?
I don't know the exact amount. I believe it was half.
What was the security deposit?
$600 is what her half was.
And did she leave you with that?
Yes, she did.
So she paid December's rent. She left you with the security deposit, right?
Correct.
And how much was the entire rent?
The entire rent per month was $1,075,
Okay,
which we split each month.
good. So she left you a month to find a new roommate and a month for good measure, because you get her $600 back at the end of the lease, right?
Well, sort of, kind of.
Do me a favor.
Yes.
Just answer my question.
Okay.
Sort of, maybe, could have. $600 security deposit.
Yes.
When you move out, you get back your security deposit as long as you pay the rent and leave the place in good order, right? So now she's really paid you 2 months. You tell me, since it's clear that this relationship was over, what you think should have happened.
Well, she signed a 2-year agreement, okay, and it says in the agreement that no oral, verbal notice of any kind it's invalid. It has to be in writing in 30 days in writing, okay, and all parties have to agree to it in writing. And there was no writing of any kind. It was just simply, I'm moving out, and she moved out. We also talked about getting back together and her moving back in. She said, if I don't even like where I'm living, I might move back in a month. Okay, and I was wanting her to stay because I wanted the relationship to work out.
According to these papers, it got pretty ugly there in the end of November, the beginning of December.
Oh, I had found out that she was seeing someone behind my back at her
So
work.
it got pretty ugly. Whatever the reason, it got pretty ugly.
Correct.
Why should two people who are not married, who have no children together, who have no other ties together, stay in an apartment where they're both going to be miserable?
We shouldn't, but
Good.
she's legally bound to the end of the lease, I feel. Because
All right.
if I lose
Are
my
you
job
still-
next month and I can't pay the rest of the rent, the owners of the place can take me to court for the remainder of the lease, correct?
Well, you have, sir, in December, by the way, you still living in the apartment?
Yes, I am, and I've looked for roommates. I've had ads in the newspaper ever since day one. I have not found anybody.
They have
Yes.
not been in the newspaper. They've been in the recycler, and there's not even a sign out front, which doesn't cost any money
Mr.
to do.
Nicholson.
It's a back house. You can't even see the house from the
Mr.
street.
Nicholson, show me the ads that you put in from day one looking for a roommate.
These here are highlighted ads in the recycler. The reason why I did not put them in the newspaper, because just for 1 day it was $45, for 2 days it was $65, and for 3 days it was $72, and at which time I also had told her at one point that I only had $40 to get me through 2 weeks. Couldn't even afford it.
You indicate here that you offered to help him put ads in the paper, is that right?
I did.
When did you tell him that?
It was not that long ago. When he said that he wanted to sue me, and I didn't understand why, because I thought that I had done my part. I went over, met with him, trying to find out why he was going to sue me. And I said at that time, I would pay for ads in the local newspaper, and if I needed to, I was just trying to figure out what my part was.
So what did he say to you when you offered?
He said no.
Do you remember having a conversation with her about her assisting in putting ads in the paper?
Yes, I do, and that was only after I had mentioned that, hey, you know, taking you to small claims court, and she said, fine, go ahead, see if I care, okay, and then this was only a matter of 2 weeks ago that she had come over and then was being very nice because she was worried about being sued and trying to manipulate me into not suing her by offering these to pay for these ads, which for several weeks prior to that, she didn't want nothing to do with me, not to offer to pay for any ads or anything like that.
Let me see the lease on the apartment. How large an apartment is this?
Actually, it's not an apartment, it's a house.
How large a house is it?
2-bedroom house with a 2-car garage. It's a back house.
Have you been to the house since?
Just the last time I was there was to visit and speak with him about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
Anybody else there?
No.
Why are you only asking for $350 a month rent?
Because that's all I feel I can really rent the place for. It's just a room, and I'm not going to allow anybody to use any space in the garage because the garage is full of my tools and equipment, and I don't want no one in there possibly stealing anything of any kind. So I'm just renting a room. I had a roommate in there before, and I only was letting her pay $300. I make good money, and I can afford most of it.
When did you have a roommate there before?
She had lived with me at an apartment prior for 2 years, and she was in our place together with us for maybe 4 or 5, 6 months at the most.
You mean when you were living together?
Correct.
So how much rent were you each paying?
I was still paying the $540, my portion, because I didn't want to get used to relying on someone else paying an additional portion of the rent.
Is that right?
Yeah, we were splitting half the rent.
Yeah.
Okay, but I didn't get any utilities of any kind from her because of the other roommate.
Yeah, because of Melissa.
What utilities?
Phone, electrical.
You mean Melissa didn't pay her own phone bill?
She did have her own phone, but she used mine quite often.
Sure, but she used her own phone. And what about the two
She
of
used
you?
mine quite often, too. Not to mention, she didn't have a car. I drove her everywhere she needed to go.
You plan on staying there in the
I plan on
house?
staying there simply for the fact that to move and to come up with first and last and security somewhere else would be a problem for me because financially this is putting me in the hole every month. The reason why, as far as the house goes, the reason why I wanted to rent a house and not an apartment is because I have a lot of tools and equipment on which I do a lot of work on cars and welding and things like that. I wanted a 2-car garage. And we were happy finding a house that had a 2-car garage so I could enjoy my hobbies.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I'm suspect that not one person answered these ads in the paper.
I've had 2 calls.
I'm sorry about that, sir. Listen to me. Get over it.
And later today,
When this was put through the mail slot in your dog jumped up. And when she jumped down, she hurt her back legs. So you're suing her. Correct.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robert Nicholson is suing former live-in lover Michelle Shannon for rent he says she owes after she moved out.
This relationship clearly didn't work out. There were several alternatives. One alternative was for you to stay together in an acrimonious situation, which is untenable for people who are married and ridiculous for people who are not married. The defendant, as far as I could see, did everything she could to be reasonable. Reasonable was the relationship wasn't working out. She said, I'm going to pay December's rent. I'm not here. You can have the security deposit, which is another half month's rent. I'm being very fair with you. We shouldn't be together. Either make other arrangements for another roommate or tell the landlord that you're going to give the landlord 3 months to find a new tenant, but that you have to leave. You chose not to do that.
I did put my ads in the paper.
Sir, I can't tell, and quite frankly, I'm suspect that you did not find somebody, that not one person answered these ads in the paper.
I've had 2 calls.
For a house for $350 a month.
I've had 2 calls.
Well, I don't know what you said to them, and I don't know whether you're as angry with her, whether you're so angry with her and irritated with her that you say, I'm not going to try to mitigate the damages, but clearly you like staying in that house. You
Yes, I
just
do.
told me you can afford to stay in that house.
No, I cannot, by myself.
Well, if you can't afford to stay in the house, sir, then what I absolutely advise you to do is to let the landlord know that you have to move out. You still have her half of the security deposit, which would amount to 1 month's rent. I am going to give you 1/2 of another month's rent of hers, or $500. You find somebody else to live with, or let your landlord know that they have 3 months grace to do that, and you would each pay for half of that.
And if they take me to court for the remainder of the lease?
I'm sorry about that, sir. Listen to me. Get over it.
I'm over it.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thanks for nothing. She's undedicated and undevoted and doesn't know what loyalty is, and she was cheating on me, seeing someone after work.
I didn't want to be with him anymore. And I did not cheat on him. I would just like to say that.
And now the next case.
All parties on Hennigan versus Clifford. Step forward, please.
Real estate agent Betty Hennigan says Irene Clifford caused her toy fox terrier, Speckles, to be injured.
All right. Now, Miss Hennigan,
Yes,
this is the dog in question.
this is Speckles.
Very nice dog. According to your complaint, you and the defendant live in the same housing complex. Is that right?
That's correct.
Your complaint indicates that the defendant put some political propaganda in your mail slot, which is in the door.
Correct. Excuse me, can I just say that it was her flyer. I didn't physically see her, but I'm sure she authorized the propaganda.
So you didn't see her put it in, but it was her propaganda that was slipped through your
authorized
door.
the
She
distribution.
authorized somebody to do it.
Correct, Your Honor.
And when this was put through the mail slot in your door, your dog jumped up.
Correct.
And when she jumped down, she hurt her back legs.
Correct.
So you're suing her.
Correct. Your Honor, if I
It's
just
just
might
a-
add, it really isn't funny if anybody ever heard a dog yelp in excruciating pain.
I don't think that that's why anyone in the court gallery is chuckling, Miss Hennigan. I think that the reason they're chuckling is how you could blame that on somebody else.
Well, the reason I blamed it on somebody else is that would be the same as somebody violating my privacy, that mail slot is to be used only by U.S. postal employees, and I do have a statement and an investigation that's going on by the postal authorities because not anybody is supposed to be able to go into your mailbox.
Miss Clifford,
Yes.
you don't look like a terrorist.
No, I'm not.
So I'd like to know what kind of political propaganda this was that was slipped through her door.
Well, it was one sheet of paper. This happened on February 2nd. We were having voting on February 4th. And
Voting
Ms.
for what?
To elect, well, really to remove 2 dissident directors from the board of directors and to elect 2 new directors. Now, Ms. Hennigan moved in late in March, I understand, and she joined up with the dissident group, which is about 20 or 30 people. So
Excuse me.
I have here a list of 26 things that went through her door
Just show me
that
the one.
weren't invasion of privacy.
Just a second. I'm not worried about invasion. Just show me, please, what the document is that you're complaining of, Miss Hennigan, if you still have
This
it.
document actually has my little dog's teeth right in the top of it.
All right, let me see this. Let me see this.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have not taught your dog to read, is that right?
That's-
Dog doesn't read.
No, but the dog does not have to have mail delivered at 20 to 8 at night.
And your dog knows how to tell the time?
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Betty Hennigan claims neighbor Irene Clifford caused injury to her fox terrier, Speckles.
All right. So this isn't clearly not a terrorist propaganda. This says, warning to all members from Irene Clifford. That's you.
Right.
And then it encourages you, the people, to come and vote
Correct.
at the next meeting of the cooperative board.
Correct.
Or
Members.
to elect new members, etc. Ms. Hennigan, I'm going to let you finish telling me about why you think. First of all, I'm going to ask Ms. Clifford, did you actually put this through her door, or did somebody else?
No, I didn't. I have a map here. I was in my unit here, and this is the unit where it was delivered.
But Irene, you
A half
authorized
a block
somebody.
away.
Ms. Hennigan, don't speak to her.
I'm sorry.
You did not personally deliver
No,
this.
I did not.
But this came from you and you gave it to other members of the board to deliver?
They weren't on the board yet.
Okay, but you gave it to other members and everybody
Members.
put it through the mail slots.
Right,
Is
which
that right?
we've done for 26 years before she moved in.
All right, so if you want to notify somebody of a meeting,
Right.
you want to notify someone that the water is going to be shut off,
Right.
or that the electricity is going to be shut off, what you do is you take a flyer and you put it through the mail.
In the townhouses, in the garden apartments, they tack them to our door because we don't have the openings. We have a main one for 17 units.
Okay, but in the houses, this lady has it through her door.
Right.
Okay. Why you have your hand up?
Well, because when they announce when the meetings are going to take place, they do put a flyer. It's on a fence before it goes into a grassed-in area, and there's also a bulletin board near the on-site manager's office. And when we want to find out when there are going to be meetings held, we have to look there. It is not a common practice. There's postings for the meetings.
Ms. Hennigan, listen to me very carefully.
Yes.
How long have you been living there?
I've been living there since August.
And you have your mail delivered there?
Yes, I do.
And the mail is delivered through the door slot?
Correct.
And the mailman delivers the mail there other than holidays 6 days a week?
Correct.
You have not taught your dog to read, is that right?
That's correct.
So the dog cannot differentiate whether there is political propaganda or a piece of mail coming through your door slot, is that right?
No, the
Is that
dog
right?
doesn't.
Dog doesn't read.
No, but the dog does not have to have mail delivered at 20 to 8 at night. I actually truly introduced my dog to our mail person. It's a mail lady. And she does know the dog, and she exercises a little bit of concern of caution. She doesn't want to be hurt in the mail slot, nor did I want my little dog hurt. This was 20 at 8 at night, Your Honor. It wasn't during a normal time of day when the U.S. Postal would be delivering mail.
And your dog knows how to tell the time?
No, but the dog does know when it's dark out.
Ms. Hennigan, it could be dark out when it's dark in the morning because it's raining and that's when the postman delivers. You were irritated because this came through your door and because your dog was injured. But that doesn't mean she's responsible because she happens to be the author of this piece of paper. You're being ridiculous, madam. You're being ridiculous.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Your complaint is ludicrous. Your complaint is absolutely ludicrous. You put a notification that she did not put through the door. You have no proof that she put it through the door, despite the fact that it has her name on it. She did not put it through the door. And you're suing this lady because your dog jumped up. Has your dog ever jumped up like that before?
Yes, my dog jumped.
Jumped up like that for mail before.
But she was never hurt.
Has your dog ever jumped up like that for mail before?
Yes, she has.
All right. So that you've seen it.
Yes.
Then what you do is you put a basket there, you put a sign there, put my mail outside, because you're the one that had noticed that your dog jumps up for the mail. She doesn't have that notice.
But, Your Honor, I even have it from the postal inspector.
You told me postal inspector 4 times. I'm telling you common sense, madam. Common sense. She's not responsible for this. Don't be ridiculous. And I'm going to tell you something else. If you live in a cooperative apartment or if you live in a condominium where everybody is supposed to get along, to start this kind of difficulty over nonsense is not a good way to start being a good neighbor. Your case is dismissed, that's all.
Your
Parties
Honor,
are
excuse me.
excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.